Good afternoon on this splendid autumn day. And I want to take a minute with you and ask you to remember a time, maybe it was at a concert. The concert had been wonderful. It was a sold-out show, and the performance had just been so magnificent. Everyone was just alive and excited. And the band finished and went off the stage, and then the ritual of lighting something to ask them to come back for an encore, and you waited, and yet they did not return. And just as you began to lose hope, they came back on the stage, and the place erupted with joy, with excitement, from that deep place inside each and every person. You know, it doesn't have to be a concert. It could be a sporting event. Oh, you know, whether it's basketball, when an improbable last-second shot goes in and your team wins, or the bottom of the ninth inning and you're behind, or an interception at the end of the game that wins it, and everyone erupts with emotion and pleasure, and it just taps into something deep within the heart of each and every one of us. I got thinking about this because, you know, these are called Tuesday thoughts. Now, that's a nice alliteration, but the fact that they're called thoughts takes us down a certain pathway. Thoughts are logical. Thoughts are rational. Thoughts engage the intellect. And you and I, we tend to live in our heads way more than is healthy. And so I would remind you of an insight from the great Harvard philosopher William James, a quote that I cherish and that informs my ministry in many ways, and I know I've shared it with many of you on many an occasion, but I think it's worth repeating. William James said this: "Human beings are a speck of reason floating on a sea of emotion, and we think that that speck of reason can keep the sea of emotion at bay." His point is that we're fooling ourselves if we think our frontal lobes in our brain are what really determine our actions. Our emotional state is what is the real engine as we navigate through life. So I would just offer this Tuesday thought/emotion to remind us that as Episcopalians, we try very hard to inform our intellectual inquiry and belief with our heart's insight and joy and emotional firepower. If you go too far one way or another, if you're just emotional, well, that just isn't good enough. And frankly, if you only analyze and theoretically examine this or that, it becomes very dry, very limited. As Christians, we are meant to be people of the heart. And biblically, the heart has always been the place of both the will and the spirit. The heart is the place where the fullness of who we are is expressed. So this Tuesday thought is really an invitation not to be afraid of your emotions. They are what they are. Feel them, live them, whether they're sad, happy, or anywhere in between. But don't let your emotions dictate your behavior completely. Let them be informed. How? Well, by Scripture, by tradition, by right thinking, by appealing to fellow Christians saying, "Friend, I'm in a bind. I need another set of eyes on this issue. I need someone to shore me up because I'm feeling overwhelmed." So, Tuesday thoughts, Tuesday emotions, hopefully they're part and parcel of the same thing. Thanks.